Hello and welcome to the Lessons in Living podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Vinder, and today I am excited to welcome on the show Bree, who is a mother of two and now a fitness instructor. And we are going to be talking about her health journey and the tips and tricks that she's learned along the way to staying fit and healthy. She's run half marathons and she, wow, from what I see on Instagram, is shaking it up. I'm like doing a weird shimmy, but with her students. So welcome, Bree. Exciting to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. This is super exciting.
So why did you start prioritizing your health?
So after having a second baby, I wasn't eating correctly. I was feeling tired, sluggish, just after having a baby, you feel tired and you do feel sluggish, but I think it was my eating because breastfeeding does make you hungry. And instead of eating nutritional foods, I was just going straight for the biscuits, straight for the cake. And that's not good for your mental health. And it wasn't until I went to the doctors and I had my blood test and it said that my cholesterol was quite high. And in my family, on my mum's side, they have a history of heart disease. So for me, that's quite important. And I had to do something for my babies. I mean, I can't be unhealthy and I want to be around for as long as I can. So yeah, I had to do something.
Yeah. So when you went to the doctors, you were basically right. Like that was the moment, a turning point for you.
Yeah. I had no idea what cholesterol was. And it wasn't until I was told and how serious it can be. My cholesterol wasn't high enough that I had to be on medication, but it was close to it. And she just said, you need to change your diet and it can change your life. Yeah. My granddad, his first heart attack was about 40 something, and he was as fit as anything and a boxer. That could be me.
So when you finished that doctor's appointment, what did you start to do? What changes did you start to make?
The first thing I did was I started with home workouts. So I just go on YouTube and I do yoga. I do, high intensity interval training. Just because I had to keep it short and sweet, and those were the only things I could do with a baby. And then I noticed that I was only really losing a little bit of weight, but I was still eating unhealthy. I just thought, oh, well, I could just exercise, it's fine. And then it wasn't until I went back to the doctors and I was like, I'm not losing any weight. And she said that I have to eat better. And she did even offer me weight loss pills. And I thought about it, but then I saw the side effects to it and I thought, no, I can't do that, because if anything goes wrong, then if I didn't have children, I'd do it, but I have to think about them. So I thought, okay, I'll try eating better. And I signed up to Weight Watchers, which I thought at the time, this is the most embarrassing thing ever. This is for old ladies. I hate this. I'm not going to tell anyone. And it wasn't until I got onto the app and there's like a whole network and there's people my age, men and women. And I didn't realize how popular it actually was. And I lost probably about 8 or 9 kgs within a month and a half, just because of my eating. It just dropped off.
Wow.
And then I went to the gym. My cousin came over from the UK and she wanted to go to the gym. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll come with you. And we started pump classes at the arena in Porirua. And we just fell in love. So I fell in love with body pump, and the rest of the weight kind of just dropped off, and got stronger.
Yeah. What is body pump exactly?
Body pump is a 55-minute weight class. So high rep, and it's great. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the doctors, when she offered you those weight loss pills, was that like a real shocking moment? Like, I don't know. Were you shocked when she was kind of saying all these things?
Yeah. I wasn't really shocked that she offered it because I think somewhere deep down I wanted her to because I wanted an easy way out. But when she did mention it, I thought, oh, it's that easy. But it wasn't that stopped me. It was literally the side effects that I don't know. It scared me, and I can't
Yeah.
risk my life like that.
Yeah. It's when I lived in America, I put on quite a bit of weight and I looked at them as well. So I was like, I felt like felt I felt like I was putting on weight, but I just couldn't understand why. Because for me, I was exercising a lot because I was there on a tennis scholarship, but I couldn't understand. I was like, why are my clothes getting tighter and tighter and tighter? Um, and for me, I felt like that was an option, but it's one of the big things that I learned on my weight loss journey was how big a deal eating is. I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. I didn't know that, which feels
Yeah,
stupid now saying
I
that
know,
now, but
right?
I just didn't realize how big of a thing it is.
Yeah, it's literally 20% exercise, 80% diet. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
100%. So when you started going to Body Pump, what happened? Like you started obviously building this habit of like going to the gym and enjoying it, and you lost on the side. You also had Weight Watchers where you'd lost 8 to 9 kgs. Was that when you dropped those kgs? Like, yeah, what happened next? Like, how were you feeling, and did that motivate you at all?
Yeah, definitely. When you step on the scales each week and you're like, oh my gosh, I lost another kg. What the heck? Um, yeah, it gets a bit addictive. So I can see how it can be dangerous. But
Yes, 100%.
especially stepping on the scales, it did get a little bit dangerous. I got a bit obsessive at a point, but not in a way where I was starving myself or anything. It's just how much did I lose today? Or if I go to the toilet for a wee, how much now? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's quite
Yes,
crazy.
I definitely do. How did you stop yourself? Because I went through that as well, for sure. Like, how did you manage that and like, I don't know, not fall into that?
Yeah, it wasn't until I learned, I got into probably, it's most recently when I got into more lifting weights in a weight in the weights gym rather than doing classes, is when I learned that eating, you need to eat a little bit more than, because Weight Watchers was only for 6 months. So after that, I was left to my own device. But I already had like the information on nutrition from it. So I kind of understood what I could and couldn't eat. So yeah, when I started doing more weights upstairs, doing my own thing, and then learning that you need to have a high protein diet and all that kind of stuff is when I realized that the weights are going to change and they're going to go
Yeah,
up because I'm getting stronger. It's
yeah,
not going to go down. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
that was a bit
true.
tricky. Yeah. It was a bit tricky and sort of hard to understand why am I gaining weight? You know, I was just getting a strong booty. That's what it was.
We're all about the big booty. um, no, but I totally resonate with what you're saying because when I started losing my own weight, I definitely was like on the scales every morning after a wee because it's got to count.
Gotta count.
Um,
Naked,
and
take every single piece of jewelry off.
yes, 100%. And for me, like I did get to a point where I was like, yeah, maybe like restricting eating, but it wasn't for too long because for me, like I was just turning into like really grumpy and just not very nice to be around.
Yeah.
Um, and also I learnt that like how I looked and how I was feeling didn't match like the reward. I've put in all this effort to look like this, with restrictive eating and stuff like that. And I actually don't feel like this isn't how I thought it would feel to look like this, if,
Yeah.
if
No,
that makes sense.
100%. I felt at my lightest, I was probably I was unstable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, isn't it? let's go back to that program. So you joined. Can you talk me through what's on it or what the
So
experience
Weight
was?
Watchers is a point system. So it depended on your goal, which my goal was weight loss. So every day I had 23 points. And that doesn't seem like much, but each food item is as many points. So say a cup of milk, like full fat milk, is 6 points, but a cup of skimmed milk is 3 points. So I would choose skim, obviously, over full fat. And so that's how it worked. And every vegetable was 0 points. So, and no, maybe not all fruits, but a lot of fruits were 0 points. So I could have as many fruit and vegetables as I want. But biscuits, I could lose 6 points for having one biscuit. So you have to sort of,
Okay.
yeah. So it gives like
Wow.
a value on each piece of item that you eat. So when you go out and you go to the supermarket and you go buy a packet of biscuits, you're like, oh, well, I won't be able to have binge eat this because that's all my points gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not too sort of restrictive because you do have weekly points. So the more exercise you do, it gives you extra points. So then you can eat more if you want to go over that. Which for me, I never really got, because also, food is so expensive these days. So, and I didn't go out to eat. I don't go out to eat. I stay home, stay with the kids. So that wasn't really an issue for me going out. But if I was to ever go out or ever drink alcohol, I had that little extra buffer that I could, use.
Yeah. Did you find it helpful?
Yeah, 100%. I was so embarrassed by it, but because my grandma did it. But back in college, but no, she lost heaps of weight, and then so I thought, you know what, F it, I'm gonna do it. And then it wasn't as embarrassing as I thought, especially going on. And there's a network, it's like Facebook. So
Yeah.
and people comment and they give you kudos. So Strava, yeah.
Yeah.
Love Strava.
We love a kudos. Oh, nice. So it was really helpful. And I guess that helps you, like that point system obviously helps you with eating, like understanding
Yeah, definitely.
food.
And they have recipes where you can make a meal and then each meal would be like, 5 point, like each portion would be 5 points so you meal prep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I really enjoyed it and I'd do it again if I needed to. I don't at the moment, but if I ever go back I always recommend it to anybody who wants to start eating better and they're struggling like me because I love food. I have no self-control.
What's been the easiest bits to change along your journey and what's been the hardest?
So the easiest bits for me would be the exercise because I had the support of my family and Jamie. And so I would drop my kids off to my mum's and she would look after them until Jamie came home from work and then he'd take them home while I go off to the gym. So that wasn't an issue. And then I had obviously my cousin as well who would join me at the time when I first started. But the hardest thing is definitely food. Again, with my self-control, I don't have it. I just have to stop buying food. The biscuits.
Yeah. Is that when you're trying to, I guess, control your food, is that like the main thing that you do is the supermarket shop?
Yeah. So
through that?
It's not really that. It's more like the supermarket shop isn't too bad. I will go buy what I need. I'll be doing school lunches and it's like, oh, I'll take a biscuit. Oh, another one. And the next thing I know, I've given the kids like 2 biscuits, but I've had the rest of the packet. Not all at once, but like throughout the week. So yeah, it's that kind of thing that's hard, but I do have the willpower to stop if I have to. If I feel like if I do step on the weights and I'm like, oh, I need to stop, then I'll stop. I do have that self-control, but it's the willpower to stop when I'm started, It's hard to explain.
Yes.
If you've got the biscuits in front of you, you can't stop.
I know. And once you have that first bite, you got to have another.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Do you feel like you're able to like control your eating because of what you've learned in Weight Watchers and like your now the knowledge that you have? Would you say that's
Yeah. Like, I don't know when the last time I had a burger from McDonald's, or I don't eat KFC or anything like fast foods. I don't have. Um, I'll, I'll have a pizza if it's given to me, but I usually home make my pizzas because I'm able to make them a little bit healthier. And that's what I do. It's sometimes cheaper at home as well. So
yeah.
I try to, so that's what Weight Watchers has done to me. It's stopped me from going out and buying those fast foods.
I feel like in New Zealand as well, there's a real worship culture
Oh,
over
yeah.
the fast foods. Like for
Yeah.
sure, like when I was at East, I'd be like, which is the high school we went to together, I'd be like, should we go to McDonald's after
Which is
school?
just down
And
the
be like,
road.
yeah, you'd be like, everyone would be like, yeah, let's go.
Or
And it's
Jack's
like,
Bakery.
yeah, or the bakery. And there's just no, well, at least in my life, there was no awareness of like, it was almost celebrated. It was, I don't know, it was so weird.
It's just somewhere you go and
Which in
hang out.
reality, you're really hurting yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. And then you had the
Yeah.
tuck shop at East as well. So there was just always food around. Always.
Yeah, and not good food. Not good
No,
food.
no.
Never good food. Yeah, it's weird, like the way that KFC is kind of held on this pedestal, and you're
Yeah.
like, man, that stuff is so bad for you.
I know, and the lines to KFC goes down the road some days. It's just
I know.
crazy to me. I couldn't do
Yeah,
that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
yeah. And I think when I look back at, I guess, me in high school and those years in America, I just didn't realize. I don't know. You don't know what you don't
No.
know, do you?
I know, and it's just quick food as well. I think
Yeah.
that's hard as
And it's
well.
addicting.
It is. It's all that salt in it, and then you eat that, and then you get thirsty, and then you drink fizzies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to compare yourself, what are the main differences now between you today and you when you were at your unhealthiest? What would you say?
I'm a lot happier, probably more pleasant to be around. Because I was really grumpy. Like, the food would make you so moody, so sluggish, and now I just have the energy. I wake up early. 5:30, that sounds crazy to some, but I wake up at 5:30 and I enjoy the whole day, and I have the energy. I'm hydrated. My skin's better. Yeah. I'm just a lot happier within myself, inside and out, than I was
Ah,
back then. Yeah.
that's nice. Well done, you. That's so nice to hear. But it's not easy. Like,
No.
it's not easy. But once you know what you know,
Yeah. Right? It's,
it's kind of hard to go back in a way, I think.
you just got to take the leap. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You just got to do
Yeah.
it. Rip the band-aid off.
Yeah. 100%. What would you say to someone who is struggling with the eating side? Like, let's say they're exercising all the time, um, but the weight's not coming off and they want to improve their eating habits, but they can't. What's your tips and tricks for that?
Well, I reckon, I mean, especially if they can't afford something like Weight Watchers, because you still have to pay for it. I reckon focus on a habit, and because change shouldn't be overwhelming. So just focus on a habit, whether that's giving up fizzy drinks or chocolate milk. Just the one thing that you do all the time, try drop that. And you'll probably notice a change. Because my fiance Jamie, he was a big chocolate milk person, would have it every single day. And he was a heavy boy as well, but lost a lot of weight, probably like 10, 12 kgs by just dropping chocolate milk. He just
Wow.
stopped one thing that he was doing all the time. So if you can focus on one habit to start with and you'll see the change, then you can focus on another habit. It shouldn't be overwhelming.
That is great advice. I love that. That's so good because I think it's true. Like it can be overwhelming.
There's the pressure,
And
and you compare yourself from other people online. TikTok, and you see all these skinny people, and you're like, I'm doing exactly that. Why does my body not look like
yeah,
that?
yeah, and also it can be unrealistic, like too much change at once. That you're like, let's say you're eating just like salad for a week, then you'll well, for me anyway, like I'd lapse. I'd be like, oh, I can't do
Yeah,
this,
easy.
too hard.
Yeah.
It is actually that's such good advice. I like that. So can you just talk me through? So how long have you been on this kind of like healthy journey? What's the timeline exactly? And how much weight as well have you lost?
So in total, I'd say 20 plus kgs. I can't tell you an exact because my weight does fluctuate between what I do at the gym, and my goals have changed now. So I've gone from weight loss to muscle gain. So I want
Yeah.
the scales to get bigger.
Yeah.
Which is so weird to say out loud. But yeah. So it started last year Jan. Yeah.
Wow. So
Last
you've
year
lost
January.
20 kgs
Yeah. Yeah.
in like a 2 years almost?
Almost 2 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
And when did the fitness instructor part come into it? Because you're
That's,
now out there helping others, which is amazing.
yeah, I love that.
So how did that happen?
So I'm at the gym that I'm at. My mum works there. She's a fitness instructor. And I just thought, I need to hold myself accountable just a little bit more. And plus, I've always wanted to do it because I used to sit in the corner while my mum was on stage teaching classes. So it's just sort of embedded in me. And so last October, maybe a little bit earlier than that, I reached out to the manager at the gym that I was at. I said, would you be open to teaching me? And I studied to do one. So it was a 30-minute workout. So I was doing that. And yeah, I had a module, which is where all the new Les Mills instructors go to learn how to be an instructor and all the elements that come into teaching and stuff. That happened in October. That was really hard. So hard. And then, yeah, the rest I had to do a lot of practice, teach in front of people, and then I had to do my certification. And I passed. Now I teach classes.
How does that feel going alongside everything that you're learning personally as well? How did it feel, I guess, teaching your first class and teaching other people about getting fit and healthy? And how did that coincide with what was going on in your own life as well?
You do kind of get imposter syndrome a little bit because you're like, whoa, this is weird. This is not me. And so you have all these people looking at you on stage, trusting you. So it's very nerve wracking. I still get nervous. You do have to, you can script, and I do script what I say on stage a little bit, but the personality part you can't script. And I always worry that someone's going to hate what I say. I've swore on stage before, which is not good. But it happens.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it help you being a fitness instructor with your own health as well?
Yeah, definitely. So it kind of holds you accountable. You have to be fit. You have to be able to do an hour's worth of running, jumping up and stepping on a step and talking at the same time, which is how I got into running because I had to get the endurance up. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're giving these classes, do you give like any other advice to the students there, like about, I don't know, getting healthy or anything like that? Or is it just purely a class?
The class is about the class. Yeah, but I do have, before the class, you do get to talk to the participants, and that's when they ask me questions, like before and after the class, on, you know, especially because a lot of them know my journey, and then they talk to each other, obviously, so then newer people go, "Oh, I heard you lost weight. Can you tell me how?" And then I'd tell them, and yeah, that's how I talk to them. I like to go down and I talk to them personally rather than go, "Hey guys, this is how I lost weight," on the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you, so running came after becoming a fitness instructor. And how have you found running?
Because I did my certification and I was super puffed throughout from start to finish. And my manager goes, "I think you need to work out more because you're a bit unfit." I was like, "Thanks." Yeah.
Thanks a
So I thought,
lot.
right. Thank you. So I had to, I was like, I'll do running. And that was hard. That was a hard start. Running's not easy. It's not for the weak.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Although you
No.
can build endurance. So if you are weak, you can do it.
Yeah. Because
Anyone can
I was
run.
like from the beginning of your journey to now running half marathons. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? With like less than 2 years,
I
you're
know.
out there running a half marathon.
Who am I?
Talk to me about that.
So my mum, she's a triathlete. So she's done Ironman like 2 times, 2, 3. I don't know. She done. she's done a lot, and she's done a 50K. She was training to do 100K, but she's injured herself, so that has to be postponed. But she has always wanted me to join her, and I've always been like, "Nah, running's not for me, Mum. Go away, stop. I don't want to be a part of it." And my cousin, again, same cousin as who I did pump with, is we were like, "Let's be running girlies." I was like, "I have to anyways. My manager told me I need to up my fitness." So we started, and we TikToked how to start, and they just said, just go at a slow pace. Just go at a pace where you can still talk. So we're there sort of, someone could just walk by us. That's how slow we were. At a normal pace, we were just bouncing like this. We were puffed. So, yeah, and we did that for probably a week and built endurance just in a week. And it just got easier and easier. And I had, my mum bought me a little program of Training Peaks, which I then adapted for myself. That was just one program for a week. So then I adapted my own program, which I now give to my friends whenever they want to start.
Wow. Do you enjoy running?
I do. I do now. I think that's for like a quarter life crisis.
Girl, ain't that the truth?
Because college me would never. But
Yeah.
I love it. I have a lot going on in my mind, and I feel like it's a way that I can just quietly go through my mental stuff without any interruptions. Or just want to listen to music. Sometimes I like to put new music on my playlist, and I just go, I'm going to go out for a run and listen to it. It just get lost. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Minus
so
the
do
pain.
I. Yeah. The pain during, but after you feel
Oh yeah.
a type of reward, don't you?
Yeah. Especially when you look down. At first I didn't even care about how fast I was going. Now I get a little bit competitive.
Bloody Strava.
Nah, it's good. It's really good.
What do you think the biggest lessons have been for you on this journey?
Throughout the
Yeah,
entire
throughout.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
That what's right for some isn't always right for you. That's a big one. Like I would do a lot of comparing, Instagramming, and it's like, why is it working for them? But it's not working for me. That's hard. So I've learned that everyone is different.
How did you realize that everybody's different?
I realized that when I followed someone on Instagram who is like probably shorter than me, and she's heavier than me, but she's strong. And I thought, wow, if she's heavier than me and she's this build, then we aren't the same, because yeah, I'm taller than her. I should be heavier than her, but she's heavier than me. So I was like, wow, okay, that's different. We're different. Everyone's different. Their body shape. I need to stop comparing myself. And yeah. And then also when I hit, my weight loss goal, it's, it was like, now what? So it's gaining weight to gaining muscle. So
Yeah.
my plans with myself had changed. So my mindset just changed with that. Yeah.
How did that how did that make you feel when you realized that everyone was different? Was it like a weight off your shoulder?
Yeah, definitely. It was at first I was so mind blown. I was like, how? This is strange. I had no idea. I was so uneducated. I still am. But and I'm sure heaps of people would have told me, but I had to see it for myself, and it was literally in a picture, and I was like, wow, she's petite. Um, so yeah, at that point, I kind of felt sort of a sense of relief as it's like, oh, okay, the pressure can get off my shoulders now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's true, that whole comparing thing
yeah,
and that journey of like looking at these Instagram models with like ripped stomachs and whatever, and you're like, I just A, probably the way they've got there is a little bit unhealthy. And B, yeah, just taking
yeah,
that pressure off yourself, being like, I
yeah.
don't need to look like that.
I know, and they also probably don't have kids, and I have two. And
Yeah.
I will admit, I am at my fittest, but I do not have abs, and probably will never. I don't think I could ever have abs, just because I've had two kids, and there's just
Yeah.
skin there now that, because, balloon.
Well, and women are
So,
different, right?
yeah,
And also
but
bodies are different, where you
yeah,
hold your weight and
yeah.
yeah.
And that's another thing. I used to be like, wow, why are my thighs so big? Now I'm like, wow, muscle. Yeah.
Yeah. When you physically start to push yourself in terms of like muscle gain, for example, in
Mm.
your case, you stop caring about looks and aesthetics because you're working towards a different goal, which is like, I want to have a strong body so I can lift X, Y, and Z. I don't care about
Yeah,
looking good because looking good isn't going to make me be able to climb up this mountain or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so setting goals like that can help, I guess, rather than aesthetics. But you really got to mean the goal, don't you? You can't be like, I just want to lift. You've got to mean it.
I know. Well, what I'd say to anybody is if they want to change their life, that you'd have to find your why, and you just go off that. Find your why, and then make that your change. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
make that the circle around
Yeah,
everything you do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. You are giving great advice. I'm like, wow, can we have like some life coaching courses together or something?
I know. Maybe I should go back to study.
mm, honestly, no, that's great advice. Like
Yeah.
finding your why and doing it for you, not anybody else,
Well, that's the thing. Like I've lost motivation many times, especially with my instructing. And the senior instructors have always told me, just remember your why. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, yeah. And
Yeah.
for me, especially with instructing, there's this woman who comes to almost every single class. She's amazing. And when you go to the gym and they take a picture of you for your ID when you swipe in so that they know it's you. Well, I wanted to find out her name. And so I saw her photo and oh my God, she has changed in her face and just her from when she started. And that's because of me. That's my way. She's my way. How much
Yeah.
I've
I
impacted her
love
life
that.
like that. And it makes me feel good. I'm here to help people, to change people.
I think is the journey that you go on when you start to prioritize your health is, well, at least for me, and it sounds like with you, like it started out, wow, you've actually started to get healthy. For me, I started to lose weight naturally because I'd moved to London and my habits, I had to start
Yeah.
walking more just to get around. And then the weights came and then the scales, and you're like dropping, watching, eating less, blah, blah, blah. But then it comes a point where you're like, okay, I've done this. What else can I do?
Yeah.
You know, because losing weight is hard. It is
It
hard.
is.
It is not easy. It's like
Especially
being at school all over again.
right? And it's even harder as well if, money is an issue, because healthy food here, and I don't know about in Dubai, but healthy food here is super expensive. And it's cheaper to buy a packet of crisps than to make yourself a salad, or,
Yeah.
even just to get meat. It's super expensive. And so, yeah.
The fast food options, if you're like, let's get a takeaway because you're tired or you're going to the beach or something, and there's no healthy options, not one. There's no salad on there. There's nothing.
No.
It's fries, pizza, meat, but like the crap kind of meat, burgers, and that's it. And then Asian food, like curries and that. It's like, where are you supposed to eat your vegetables in this?
Right?
It's mad.
Yeah. And
It
then
is
there are
hard.
kids I see kids drinking fizzy drinks, like those big bottle of $1 fizzy drinks, and it costs $1 for that, but it costs more, like $2 or $3 for a small bottle of water. Like, how crazy is that? It costs more
Yeah.
for water. I mean, you
Same
could just go
here.
to the
It's the
tap,
same here.
but
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. You're just so unaware of what you're putting in your body most
yeah,
of the time.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
What a journey. And obviously I've watched it from afar on Instagram, but I've been in the likes, I've been in the kudos, and definitely have seen the change, and, juggling 2 kids and prioritizing healthy food and learning and, upskilling and becoming a fitness instructor. Like, what an achievement. That's super inspiring. And keep up the good work. And yeah, just congrats to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on today to talk about it.
No, thank you for having me. I've had so much fun. I'm always happy to share what I know. And if anyone's around in Porirua, always come to a class. It'll be fun. We'll have fun.
Oh, I love that. Well, if you've made it this far through the podcast, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to me. Please do share this around, comment, like, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're feeling up to it and you want to share your own story, please do reach out. Whether you're a friend or a stranger, I'd love to hear from you. Remember, sharing is caring, and you never know who you'll help with your own story. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.